Welcome to our video on bypassing the H-1B lottery with cap-exempt employment and navigating the bridge from STEM OPT to H-1B. In this session, we will explain how cap-exempt roles can provide immediate relief, how timing rules let you keep working while your case is pending, the pitfalls to avoid, and the trade-offs of this strategy. Now, let's move into the agenda to preview what's ahead. Here is our agenda. First, we will explore why this matters. Second, we will cover the cap-exempt advantage. Third, we will explain how working, while the petition is pending, works. Fourth, we will address eligibility and employer types. Fifth, we will walk through a step-by-step checklist. Sixth, we will compare cap-exempt with cap-subject H-1B. Seventh, we will visualize timelines with diagrams. Eighth, we will discuss market trade-offs. Ninth, we will test your understanding with quick quizzes. Finally, we will summarize key takeaways and next steps. Next, a brief but important disclaimer. Disclaimer: this video provides general educational information and does not constitute legal advice. Immigration rules can change and individual circumstances vary significantly. You should consult a qualified immigration attorney before taking action. With that understood, let's transition to why this matters so much for STEM OPT holders. STEM OPT provides temporary work authorization but comes with an expiration date. The cap-subject H-1B lottery is random and often leaves talented workers without status continuity. Cap-exempt roles, by contrast, provide a path that is not limited by the annual cap or the lottery. Next, let's clarify what cap-exempt actually means and why it's a key strategy. Cap-exempt H-1B roles are sponsored by qualifying institutions, universities, affiliated nonprofit entities, and governmental research organizations. These positions are not subject to the annual H-1B cap or the lottery, allowing year-round filing. Critically, when a complete cap-exempt H-1B change of status petition is filed before STEM OPT expires, and a receipt is issued, the individual is generally authorized to begin working for that cap-exempt employer immediately, maintaining continuity. Next, let's detail how working while pending actually operates. Here is how working while pending functions. If you are in valid status, such as STEM OPT, and your cap-exempt employer files a complete H-1B change of status petition before your current status expires, you are generally authorized to start working for that specific cap-exempt employer as soon as USCIS issues a valid receipt notice. This enables continuous employment. Ensure you are in status at filing, and consider premium processing to expedite adjudication and reduce uncertainty. Now let's confirm who actually qualifies as cap-exempt. Cap-exempt employers typically include institutions of higher education, nonprofits that are genuinely affiliated with such institutions, and governmental research organizations. Affiliation requires documented relationships that satisfy USCIS criteria. There are complex edge cases, so verification of the employer's cap-exempt status is essential before proceeding. With eligibility in view, let's compare cap-subject and cap-exempt to see the trade-offs clearly. On the left, cap-subject roles are the traditional corporate path, constrained by the annual quota and lottery with limited filing windows. These jobs often pay more and align with typical private sector growth. On the right, cap-exempt roles avoid the cap and the lottery, enabling year-round filing and faster strategic pivots. However, they often offer lower compensation and may not match corporate career trajectories. With this contrast in mind, let's visualize the pathways from STEM OPT. From STEM OPT, you can pursue the cap-subject lottery or file a cap-exempt petition. If you choose the cap-exempt route and file before your current status expires, a USCIS receipt enables you to start working for the cap-exempt employer immediately, preserving continuity. After approval, you may later reposition to the cap-subject market if it aligns with your long-term goals. Next, let's turn the checklist into a step-by-step plan. Follow these steps. First, verify cap-exempt eligibility for the employer. Second, ensure the petition is filed before your STEM OPT or grace period ends. Third, compile a complete petition package, including all required forms and supporting evidence. Fourth, file a change of status from within the United States. Fifth, wait for the I-797C receipt and then begin work for that specific employer. Sixth, consider using premium processing to reduce uncertainty. Seventh, Maintain compliance, including I-9, and, where applicable, E-Verify. Finally, develop a long-term plan to determine if and when you might transition back to a CAP subject role. Next, we will convert these steps into a visual timeline. This timeline shows the sequence. While STEM OPT is valid, a CAP-exempt employer prepares and files a change of status petition before OPT expires. USCIS receives the filing and issues the I-797C receipt, which authorizes you to begin working for that specific employer. Optionally, premium processing can expedite adjudication. After final approval, you may later decide to transition to the CAP subject market if it aligns with your career strategy. Moving forward, let's quantify the benefits and trade-offs. This table summarizes the essentials. First, employer eligibility proof establishes CAP-exempt qualification. For nonprofits, obtain written affiliation documentation. Second, timely filing before status expiry enables work continuity while pending. Set deadlines 2 to 3 weeks early. Third, complete forms and evidence prevent requests for evidence and delays. Use a document tracker. Fourth, the receipt notice authorizes starting work for that specific employer. Set alerts to confirm delivery. Fifth, premium processing reduces uncertainty. Plan for the cost, though it is optional. Next, let's check your understanding with a quick quiz. Quiz question. When can you begin working for a CAP-exempt employer during a change of status from STEM OPT? Options. A. Immediately after the petition is mailed. B. Only after final approval. C. Once USCIS issues a valid I-797C receipt for that employer and you filed before your status expired. D. Only on October 1st. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. If the CAP-exempt petition is filed before your status expires and USCIS issues a valid I-797C receipt, you are generally authorized to begin working for that specific employer immediately. Next, we'll discuss the market trade-offs and why this path can be controversial. This strategy is controversial because many professionals accept lower-paying positions at universities or nonprofits to secure stable immigration status. This can distort the labor market by forcing talent to prioritize legal status over compensation and career growth. Nonetheless, for many, continuous authorization and stability are paramount, with the option to pivot back to the CAP subject market later. Next, we will highlight key takeaways you should remember. Key points. First, file before your status expires to enable work continuity. Second, verify the employer's CAP-exempt eligibility in writing. Third, the I-797C receipt is the authorization to start with that employer. Fourth, premium processing can reduce uncertainty but is optional. Fifth, plan long-term to balance immediate stability with future career goals. Next, a quick second quiz to cement these ideas. Quiz question. What is the main reason candidates choose premium processing for CAP-exempt filings? Options. A. It increases the chance of approval. B. It avoids requests for evidence entirely. C. It shortens adjudication time, reducing uncertainty while you are already allowed to work on the receipt. D. It allows working for multiple employers simultaneously. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. Premium processing shortens adjudication time, which reduces uncertainty and aids planning. It does not increase approval chances nor guarantee avoidance of evidence requests. Now let's visualize the trade-offs in a quick chart and then wrap up. This pie chart illustrates a conceptual breakdown of priorities: a majority weight on stability and continuity, a substantial portion on long-term career strategy and the option to pivot later, and a smaller but notable slice acknowledging compensation trade-offs. Finally, let's summarize the whole journey. In summary, the Cap-Exempt H1B path offers a legal, year-round alternative to the lottery. If you file before your STEM OPT expires and obtain the receipt notice, you can generally continue working for that specific employer without interruption. Confirm employer eligibility. Consider premium processing for quicker certainty, and anticipate potential pay trade-offs in exchange for stability. Build a long-term plan to determine if and when a transition back to the CAP subject market makes sense. As a final note, always consult a qualified immigration attorney for personalized advice. Next, a final call to action. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with friends navigating STEM OPT, and subscribe for more practical immigration strategy content. Tell us in the comments what topics you want next and how you plan your cap exempt or cap subject path.